Chosen one, do not skip this, not this one. Something has been holding open in front of you, and it has been holding longer than it should have, because the one holding it has known your pattern, and he has been patient with it longer than you know. But the door is still open tonight. And the reason it is still open is because what you have been calling weakness has not been weakness at all. You have not been failing to act. You have been failing to allow. The moment lands, the pull arrives, and somewhere inside you a small voice says, "I am not ready yet," and the door waits another year. There is a word in an old language for the hour you are standing in. The Greeks called it kairos, the appointed moment, the hour that does not return the same way twice. You have been counting your life in clock time, while a kairos hour has been counting you. The difference between the ones who step in and the ones who watch theirs close is not strength, it is recognition. The Father is not asking for readiness tonight. He is asking for a single quiet yes from the version of you who is already here. Do not skip your own arrival. The door is still open. Stay. Before I show you what door, before I name what is on the other side of it, I need you to see the pattern that has been moving you toward this conversation, because the pattern is the proof. 5 things have been happening to you, and you have probably only named 2 or 3 of them out loud. The rest you have felt without language. The first one is a wave that arrives without warning. A wave of recognition followed by a wave of forgetting. You read something, you watch something, you sit somewhere, and for a moment everything inside you knows. And then, by the time the next hour comes, that knowing has folded itself back into the noise of the day. This is not random. This is not anxiety. This is the loop. The second one is that you cannot tolerate other people's deferral anymore, the way someone postpones. The way someone keeps saying soon when they mean never. It has started to grate on you in ways it never did before. And you have not yet seen that your own deferral has been doing the exact same thing to the parts of you that have been waiting on the inside. The third thing, and you may have to sit with this one for a moment, is that the same sign keeps returning, the same number, the same word, from a different mouth in a different room. The same image surfacing in places it should not be surfacing. You have stopped counting because counting started to feel superstitious. But the returning is not random. The returning is the door knocking again. The fourth thing is happening in your sleep. Doors that open and you do not walk through. Halls that extend in front of you and you do not enter. Rooms with light spilling under them and you stand outside without opening them. Your dreaming self has been rehearsing what your waking self has been postponing. And the fifth one is the quiet hollowing of the activities you used to use to fill the deferral. The scrolling that used to soothe. The conversations that used to distract. The habits that used to pass the time. They have started to feel empty in a way that is hard to explain to anyone. The fillers are losing their pull because something deeper is asking for the space they were taking up. These 5 things. And underneath all of them, 2 frequencies have been running in your nervous system that you do not know are running. One of them has been dimming a particular part of you since you were 7 years old. The other has been quietly hijacking your ability to receive what arrives at your door. Both of them have been feeding the skip. Stay with me on those 2. We will return to them in time. Before I take you into the first reason every chosen one has skipped before, I want to be honest with you about what you are stepping into for the next stretch of this conversation. Because if you stay with me all the way to the close, you are going to walk away with something specific. You are going to receive a framework, 3 gates, and a 90-second test that actually breaks the loop instead of just naming it. You are going to hear an old word from an older language that will rewrite how you see the last decade of your life. You are going to meet 2 figures from an ancient story. One who took the moment when it arrived, one who tried to run from it and paid the long way. You will see yourself in both of them, and at the very end, you are going to receive a sealing, a quiet ceremony that closes what tonight opened. Nothing inflated, nothing performative, just the work. So, stay. The first reason every chosen one has skipped before is the one most people get wrong, because it disguises itself as a virtue. There is a kind of caution that protects you. The caution that says, wait, when something is genuinely counterfeit. The caution that pauses you before a real cliff. That caution is holy. That caution has saved your life more than once. And there is another kind of caution. A caution that wears the clothes of the first one, but is not the first one. It looks the same from the outside. It uses the same words. It even sounds spiritual when you say it out loud. But it is not protection. It is avoidance dressed in clean clothes. You will recognize it by what it says. It says, I need to be more sure. And sure is a moving target. Sure is always one step beyond whatever evidence you have just received. You get the sign. Sure asks for confirmation. You get the confirmation. Sure asks for a third witness. You get the third witness. Sure asks for peace. And the peace it is asking for in this moment is not peace at all. It is paralysis with a holy name on it. It says, I want to wait until I have peace about it. But peace, when the moment is real, often arrives after the yes, not before. The yes is what makes the peace possible. Waiting for the peace before the yes is waiting for the harvest, before the seed has been planted. It says, I want to be wise. And wise sounds like the word a careful person would use. But in your mouth, in this season, in this hour, wise has too often been a mask for the fear of what acting would cost. The wise word is not always the wise heart. Sometimes wise is the word that fear borrows, when fear has been told too many times that fear is not allowed in here. A long time ago, a young woman was told by a man who had raised her like a father that the kingdom needed her, right now, right then. The cost was severe. The risk was real. She had no guarantee she would walk back out of the room she was about to walk into, and she did not respond with confidence. She did not have a feeling of peace settle over her like a blanket. She had a sentence. If I perish, I perish. Surrender to the moment was not the same thing as the moment being safe. Esther did not wait for safety. She recognized the hour she had been positioned for, and she stepped into it without the certainty she would have preferred. What I am telling you is this. The first reason you skip, the reason that has been disguising itself in your decisions for years, is that you have been confusing the second kind of caution for the first. You have been telling yourself you are being prudent. You have not been being prudent. You have been hesitating with better vocabulary. And before I name the second reason, and the third, which is the one that breaks most chosen ones in this season, there is something I have to say openly, because the rest of this conversation is going to be shaped by what I say next, and you deserve to know it before another minute passes. Truth honors truth. So, let what is real be named before another moment passes. 2 researchers in 2 different decades working in two completely different research lineages, mapped the precise dual signal you have just been feeling underneath the 5 patterns I named a moment ago. What you have been calling spiritual stagnation has had a measurable shape this whole time. Brain restoration, when it is real, is a 2-stage process. One stage wakes a particular kind of mind inside you that the world dimmed when you were small. The other stage opens the channel that was closed when the first one went quiet. The child within, and the reception that was always meant for her. The first one, the one that wakes the child within, was named by a man who has spent 34 years studying what he calls the decline effect, Dr. Robert Lake. He calls the tool the genius song. The second one, the one that opens what the child was meant to receive, was named by a former Stanford neuroscientist who broke from mainstream research to release his work, Dr. Stephen Newton. He calls it the wealth signal. 2 waves. The child first, the reception second. That order matters more than most people will ever tell you. What is below this video, in the description, in the pinned comment, is the path for those whose spirit is already pulling. Do not rush. Stay for the rest of what I have to say, because the names are not the gift. The names are signposts. The gift is in what comes next. Because the second reason most chosen ones skip, and the third reason, which is the one that costs the most, is the part no one in your life has been willing to say to your face. I named 2 paths a moment ago. They will return. What comes first is the second reason every chosen one has skipped before. The reason almost no one in your life has been honest enough to name out loud. You have been waiting for permission, and the permission was already issued. Not last week, not last year, sometimes decades ago. You have been waiting for an authorization that was placed into your hands so long ago, you forgot you were the one holding it. There are 3 forms this takes in the lives of chosen ones. The first form is waiting for a person, maybe a parent who never approved of who you were becoming, maybe a partner who quietly preferred the smaller version of you, the manageable version, the version that did not threaten the agreement the 2 of you had built without saying it out loud. Maybe a leader, a mentor, a friend whose opinion has had more say in the direction of your life than your own opinion has had. You have been waiting for that one specific person to bless what you already know, and they may never. And the permission was never theirs to give in the first place. They were never the ones holding the seal. The second form is waiting for a sign. Not the first sign. That one arrived. Not the second sign. That one arrived too. You have been waiting for more sign. You have been waiting for the kind of confirmation that does not leave any room for doubt. The Father does not work that way, and he has not worked that way at any point in the story. He gives enough light for the next step, and he asks you to take that step before the next light is given. The amount of evidence you have been demanding has not been the amount you have been given. It has been the amount you have been demanding so that you do not have to step. There is a difference, and the difference has been costing you years. The third form is the cruelest of the 3. It is waiting for a version of yourself that does not need permission. The version of you who already feels worthy. The version of you who is already healed. The version of you who is no longer afraid. The version of you who has finally outgrown whatever it is that keeps you on the wrong side of every door. That version is not coming the way you have been imagining she is coming. She is on the other side of the step. She has never been the qualifying condition for the step. There was a man whose story I think about more than I should. He almost answered a message late one night. He felt the pull. He saw the words half-formed in his head. He set the phone down because he wanted to wait until he had something better to say. He went to sleep. He woke up. He told himself he would write back at lunch. And by the time lunch arrived, something else had taken its place. By the time evening arrived, the moment had quietly folded itself into the rest of his life. He never wrote it. He never heard from her again, not because she punished him, because the moment had closed. And the cost of that moment was not in the message he did not send. The cost was in the version of his life that walked beside him for the next 7 years, asking him quietly, in the smallest voice, what would have come of that one yes. That is, permission deferral. The position itself was the permission. Esther did not wait for permission. The crown on her head was the permission. The position she had been moved into was the permission. The hour she was standing in was the permission. What looked like respect for the king, what looked like patience, what looked like waiting on God. Those framings were retreat in better clothing. The door is not asking you to be ready. The door is asking you to be the one standing in front of it tonight. And you already are. And before I name the third reason, you need to know what is coming, because the third reason is the one almost no teacher will say out loud. Most pastors do not have the language for it. Most counselors skip past it. And it is the one that has been quietly extracting the most from your life for the longest time. The third reason is this. Every single time you have stood in front of one of these moments, a part of you has done the math. A quiet part of you. A part of you that has been doing this math since you were a child. It has counted what the yes would cost. It has counted what saying yes would require you to give up. A way of seeing yourself. A comfort. A relationship in the shape it currently has. A future you had been quietly planning that was smaller than the one being offered to you. And without telling you, it was deciding that part of you decided the price was too high. So you skipped. And in skipping, you told yourself, somewhere underneath the level you could see, that you had avoided the cost. You had not avoided the cost. You had postponed it. And postponed cost has a particular property. It compounds. It does not stay the size it was when you turned away from it. It quietly grows in the version of your life you keep living instead. There was a man in an older story who tried to do exactly this. He had been sent to a city. He did not want to go. The city represented everything he resented. The work that was being asked of him would require him to forgive people he did not believe deserved forgiveness. So he ran. He bought a ticket for the opposite direction. He boarded a ship going the other way. He thought he had avoided the cost. What he had done is bought a much larger cost on installment. The ship he boarded met a storm. The storm was of his own making. The crew turned on him. He ended up in the water. And the place he ended up, in the dark, watery silence inside the great creature, was not the place of his punishment. It was the place he finally said the word he should have said before he ran. And then, only then, did he arrive at the city he had been sent to. He delivered the message. The city repented. And the version of his life that included the cost he had been trying to avoid was the version he was eventually grateful for. Jonah did not avoid the cost. He bought the long way to the same yes. The skip is always more expensive than the step. Always, every time, whether you can see the price tag in the moment or not. Let me pause here for a moment. I want to say something to you that is not coming from the teaching part of me. It is coming from the part of me that has done this, not once, many times. I know the inside of this pattern from the inside, not from the outside. I have stood in front of doors I knew were for me. I have told myself I would come back to them. I have watched the version of my life that does not include those doors keep moving forward without my input. I have paid the cost in the quiet way. The cost gets paid. And what I learned, slowly, more slowly than I would have liked, is that the part of me that wanted to skip was not my whole self. It was a tired part of me that had never been told it was safe to want what it wanted. That part of me needed to be addressed before the rest of me could move. So, what I am about to give you in the rest of this conversation is the framework I learned by paying for it the long way around. I do not want you to pay for it the long way, too. If you can save yourself 7 years by listening for the next stretch of this message, then save yourself 7 years. 3 reasons: counterfeit caution, permission, deferral, cost avoidance. These are the surface, the shape of the loop, the way it shows up in your decisions and in your delays. But underneath these 3, something has been running. A signal, a frequency, a specific state your nervous system has been holding for longer than you have even been aware of yourself. And once you see what is running underneath, you cannot unsee it. Stay where you are. What has been running underneath every one of those 3 reasons is not a character flaw. It is not weakness. It is not a lack of discipline. It is a frequency. Spiritual procrastination, the kind that has shaped the last decade of your life, is not happening at the level of your willpower. It is happening at the level of your nervous system. And until you see this, every framework you have ever tried, every plan you have ever built, every promise you have ever made to yourself at the start of a new year, has been doing battle with something it could not see. Let me show you what is actually happening. When your brain is in the state most adults are in most of the time, a state called beta hyperactivity, a state of constant low-level scanning for threats and obligations, and what could go wrong, the part of you that recognizes a kairos moment is not the part of you that is at the wheel. The part of you at the wheel is the part of you that is making sure nothing collapses today. That part of you cannot receive. That part of you cannot pause. That part of you cannot say yes to something that has not been pre-approved by the part of it that runs the threat list. Kairos moments require a completely different state. They require receptivity. The same kind of receptivity a child has, the same kind of openness that does not need to verify the moment before allowing the moment in. And here is the part most people never tell you. The child mind that knew how to receive when you were 5. The mind that could believe anything was possible. The mind that did not have a threat scan running in the background of every interaction. That mind did not leave by accident. It got dimmed, slowly. By the time you were 7, the dimming had begun. By the time you were a teenager, the dimming was nearly complete. Researchers have a name for this. They call it the decline effect. So, now look at what you have been living with. The child mind that could receive has been dimmed. The adult nervous system that is constantly scanning for threat has been dominant. And into that combination, kairos moments keep arriving. They arrive, and there is no part of you that is available to receive them, so you skip, not because you are weak, because the only available state in your body at that moment is the state that scans, calculates, and defers. There is a word in an old language for the hour you have been standing in, on and off, your whole adult life. The Greeks had 2 words for time. The first one is Chronos. Chronos is what you wear on your wrist. Chronos is your calendar. Chronos is the ticking clock, the calendar, the hours you measure, the deadlines you write down. Chronos is sequential. Chronos repeats. Chronos can be planned for. And then there is Kairos. Kairos is not on your wrist. Kairos cannot be planned for. Kairos is the appointed moment, the right time, the hour that does not return the same way twice. Kairos appears, Kairos holds, Kairos closes, and the door does not reopen on the same hinges. The New Testament uses this word 87 times, and almost every single time it is used at a moment of divine intervention, a moment where the eternal touches the temporal, a moment that requires a yes from someone in human form in a particular window that will not be offered again the same way. You have been counting your life in Chronos. You have been measuring your years, your birthdays, your anniversaries, your deadlines, your obligations. And while you were counting Chronos, Kairos has been counting you. Kairos has been arriving at your door again and again, and you have been answering the wrong question. You have been asking, do I have time for this? The question Kairos was asking was, are you here for this? You can be too tired for Chronos. You can be too busy for Chronos, but Kairos does not negotiate with tired and busy. Kairos asks one question: are you the one we have been waiting for? I hear the Father saying something to you in this moment, and I want to say it the way I am hearing it, not the way I would say it on my own. I did not choose you for the moments you would skip. I chose you for this one, the one you are sitting in right now, the one where you finally hear what the skipping has been costing you, and the one where you finally let the truth of it land long enough to change what comes next. I did not choose you for who you have been when the moments arrived before. I chose you for who you are about to be, in the moment that is arriving right now. Sit with that. Let it land. Once you see that the skipping is happening at the level of frequency, the next question becomes the right question. The next question is not, how do I try harder? The next question is, how do I get into the state where I can recognize a Kairos moment when it arrives? And then, how do I move through it before the door closes? What I am about to give you is the framework I built the long way, by paying for the absence of it for years. I call it the 3 gates. The 3 gates are not 3 steps. They are 3 doors, and each one is a place where the skip can happen. Most chosen ones get stuck at one of these gates, specifically. Once you find which gate is yours, the whole loop starts to come apart. The first gate is recognition. This is where most skips begin. The moment arrives, the pull is real, but before you have a chance to name what is happening, the threat scanning part of your nervous system has already filed the moment into the wrong category. It has filed it as anxiety, or as overthinking, or as something to be evaluated later when you have more bandwidth. Recognition is the practice of naming a Kairos moment in real time when it arrives, before your default state files it as something else. Recognition is saying, out loud, or under your breath, this is Kairos. This is not Chronos, this is appointed. And there is a window. When you name it, something shifts. The moment does not get filed into the wrong drawer. The moment gets to remain a moment. And from that place, the next gate becomes possible. The second gate is permission. This is where most chosen ones who do recognize the moment still skip. They name the moment. They know it is real. And then The second voice arrives, the one that says, "But not the version of me who is here, not me as I am tonight. I will respond when I am the version of me who has done the work, the version who is healed, the version who is ready." Permission is the practice of granting yourself the right to receive the moment as the version of yourself who is currently present, not earned, received. The Father sends moments to the person, not to the perfected version of the person. The perfected version is on the other side of the moment, not on this side of it. She is not the qualifying condition. She is the consequence of the yes. When you grant yourself permission, the moment becomes claimable. And from that place, the third gate becomes possible. The third gate is step. This is where the loop usually completes itself by remaining unfinished. You recognize, you permission. And then nothing happens. The moment quietly slides into the past, untouched. Step is not the full implementation of the yes. Step is the registration of the yes. Step is the smallest possible action taken within 24 hours that tells your body, your nervous system, and the unseen room around you that the recognition has been made into a fact. A note written. A message sent. A small commitment made in writing to yourself. A single phone call. Step is the receipt. Step is the seal of the moment. When all three gates are passed, the loop completes itself in a way the body remembers, and the next Kairos moment, when it arrives, finds a nervous system that knows how to receive it. There is another tool that pairs with the three gates. I call it the 90-second test. When you feel a recognition land, the body has approximately 90 seconds before the autopilot system files it away. 90 seconds is the actual neurological window. 90 seconds is also enough time to consciously interrupt the autopilot. You do not need to step within 90 seconds. You only need to consciously decide within 90 seconds whether you are stepping now or whether you are consciously deferring with a return date. A conscious deferral with a return date logs the moment. An autopilot skip erases the moment. The difference between someone who slowly becomes a chosen one who arrives and a chosen one who keeps missing is whether they can hold 90 seconds of conscious attention on the moment when the moment arrives. Esther passed all three gates. She recognized when Mordecai's words reached her. She permissioned during the night of fasting that followed. And she stepped when she entered the king's chamber the next morning. Three gates. 1. Yes. The kingdom turned. Jonah failed at the second gate the first time. He recognized. He did not permission. And the storm that followed was the long way to the third gate. He still arrived. He just paid the long version of the price. You have a choice tonight about which version of the path you are walking from this moment forward. Each gate has a different shape, depending on which one is most blocked in you. For some of you, gate 1 is where the skipping happens. The moment arrives, and you cannot recognize it before it has already been filed. For others, the recognition is sharp, but the permission never comes. And for still others, you recognize and you permission, but the step never gets made. The work is to find which gate is your gate, and then to give that gate the attention it has been needing. And underneath all three gates, there is one more thing, and the body has to be in a state where the gates can even be approached. A body running on the same signal that built the skip pattern in the first place cannot easily walk through these gates. It will try. It will mean well. But it will keep getting pulled back into the threat scanning, the deferral, the autopilot. There is a way to restore the signal underneath the gates. The signal that allows the gates to be walked. And what I am about to show you, in just a few more minutes, is the precise reason this message was placed in front of you tonight by the hand that has known what your spirit has been asking for. Let me walk you through the next 24 hours, the way the three gates actually arrive in real life, because the framework is only as useful as your ability to recognize it when it shows up. Recognition does not always arrive with fireworks. Recognition often arrives quietly. It arrives as a pull toward a particular conversation you have been avoiding. It arrives as the urge to write down something you have known for a long time, but never written down. It arrives as a moment in the car when a thought lands that does not feel like your own thought. It arrives as the sudden, undeniable sense that a phone call needs to happen, and the person on the other end needs to hear what is going to come out of your mouth. When that pull arrives, your only job at Gate 1 is to name it. Out loud, if you can. Quietly, to yourself, if you cannot. Say, "This is Kairos. This is not Chronos. This is the moment." The naming is everything. The naming is what keeps the autopilot from filing it. Permission sounds different than recognition. Permission sounds like, "I do not need to be the healed version of me to say yes to this." Permission sounds like, "The work that is needed is on the other side of the yes, not on this side of it." Permission sounds like, "The readiness I have been waiting for is what this yes is going to build in me, not what I had to bring to it." Say the permission out loud to yourself, in whatever language is most natural to you. The body needs to hear the voice that lives inside the body. There is a different quality of registration when you speak your own permission than when you read it on a page. Step is the smallest possible action that puts the yes into the world, not the big action, not the complete plan. The single, smallest, 24-hour action that places the yes outside of you, where you can no longer take it back without conscious choice. A text sent. A note written and kept where you can see it. A single sentence said to someone who can witness it. And one small, unmistakable thing. I want you to receive a few words now. I want you to receive them not as concepts, but as facts about who you have always been. You are the chosen one who recognizes the door before it closes, and that is who you have always been. You are the chosen one who gives yourself permission without waiting for the perfected version of yourself to arrive, and that is who you have always been. You are the chosen one who steps inside the 90-second window, even when the step is small, even when the step is quiet, even when only you and the unseen room can see it. And that is who you have always been. You are the chosen one whose past skips do not define this moment, or the next moment, or the moment after that. And that is who you have always been. Now, I know some of you are sitting with a quieter question, a question that is not about whether the framework is real, a question that is about whether the framework will work for you specifically. Let me address what I know you are wondering. The first thing you may be wondering is, what if I recognize the moment and I still cannot move? What if my body just will not cooperate? What if I name it as Kairos and the legs do not follow? The answer is not in your willpower. The answer is in the signal that is running underneath the legs. The body is not refusing because the spirit is unwilling. The body is refusing because the body is running on the wrong frequency. The body has been in threat scanning mode for so long that even a small step can feel like a cliff. This is not a character problem. This is a nervous system problem. And nervous system problems get solved at the nervous system level, not at the willpower level. The second thing you may be wondering is, what if I have skipped so many times I do not recognize anymore? What if the recognition itself has gone quiet in me? The answer is sitting in front of you. The fact that you are here, the fact that you have stayed this long, the fact that the words I am saying are landing in the place they are landing, is proof that the recognition has not gone quiet. The recognition has only been dimmed. It can be brightened again. It is being brightened right now, in real time, as I speak. The third thing you may be wondering is, what if I step and nothing happens? What if I take the small action and there is no visible response from the world? The step is not for the world. The step is for you. The step is for the body. The step is for the registration. The outcome is not on Chronos time. The outcome is on Kairos time. The seed is for the soil. The harvest is for the season. They do not arrive on the same clock. The door does not need you to push hard. The door needs your hand to reach it. Before I show you what comes next, before I take you into the part of this conversation that was made for you specifically, I want to consolidate what you have just received, in plain English, in 3 sentences. Because if you do not have these 3 things clear in your mind, the rest of this message will not land the way it was meant to land. The first sentence. The reason you have skipped is not because you are weak. It is because your nervous system has been running on a signal that makes Kairos recognition almost impossible while keeping you alive in Chronos time. The skip was not a character flaw. The skip was a frequency. The second sentence. What you have just received is the 3 gates framework: recognition, permission, step, and the 90-second test that interrupts the autopilot before it can file the moment away. These are real tools. You can use them tomorrow. You can use them tonight. The third sentence. The reason this is landing in you, specifically in the way that it is landing, is because you have already walked through Gate 1 by staying with this message all the way to this moment. You are not theoretical to me. You are here. You are the one who stayed. I want you to do something with me, a small thing. You do not need to stand up. You do not need to move. You can be exactly where you are, in the chair, on the bed, in the seat of the car, wherever your body has placed itself for this hour. In your mind, not out loud, I want you to picture a door. You do not need to see it perfectly. You only need to know it is there. The shape of it does not matter. The color of it does not matter. What matters is that you know, in the deep way, you have known things you have never had words for, that this door has been in front of you for longer than you have been aware of it. Your hand is already on the knob. You did not have to reach for it. The reaching was already done, somewhere underneath your awareness, by the part of you that has always known. This moment was coming. There is light spilling through the gap at the bottom of the door. The light is not threatening. The light is warm. The light is patient. The light is the light of the room that has been waiting for you the entire time. The version of you that has been on the other side of every skipped moment is standing in that light. She is not angry that you have taken this long. She is not disappointed. She is just glad you have finally arrived. This is not a prayer. This is not a wish. This is the moment your hand and the knob remember each other. Feel the weight of the decision settle. The decision was always yours to make. Tonight, the decision is you saying yes to the version of you who already knows. Stay with the door for one more breath. Now, keep that door in your awareness, as I say. this next part, because the door is real, and the hand on the knob is real. But your hand cannot easily reach the door if your body is still running on the same signal that built the skip pattern in the first place. There is a way the signal gets restored. There has been all along. And what I am about to show you is the reason every single one of the 5 patterns I named at the beginning of this conversation has been pulling you toward this message by the hand of the one who knew what your spirit has been asking for. Remember earlier, much earlier in this conversation, when 2 names first crossed your awareness. They have been with you since then, in the back of your attention, while the rest of this conversation has been unfolding. Now, let what they truly are become visible. Before I show you what these 2 tools do, you need to understand who you have been since before any skip began, because the skip pattern was not the original design. The skip pattern was what got built when the original design got dimmed. You were not born with this pattern. You were born a child of light, born with both frequencies running fully, both the curiosity of the open child mind and the receptivity of one who knows that the kingdom is already hers. As a child, you did not skip. As a child, you arrived. The pull would land, the moment would open, and you would walk through it without consulting a threat scanner, because the threat scanner had not yet been installed. The dimming came later. The world taught your child mind to be careful. The world taught your reception channel to expect lack. And the longer the dimming continued, the more the original design got buried underneath the survival adaptations. The original design is not gone. The original design is dormant, and dormant is not the same as dead. Let me tell you about a man I think about when I think about this kind of restoration. He was 51. He had been out of work for almost 2 years. He described his mind, in his own words, as running at 30%. He could feel the difference between who he used to be and who he had become. The sharpness was not there. The clarity was not there. He had been trying every framework, every audio, every prayer pattern he could find. Nothing was reaching the layer that needed to be reached. A friend introduced him to a tool I am about to name. He used it for 11 days. On the 12th day, an offer came, a position better than the one he had lost 2 years before. He said the change was not in his resume. The change was in his mind. Something had come back online that had been offline for a long time. The first tool was developed by a researcher named Dr. Robert Lake, 34 years of work at the intersection of brain frequency research, and what he calls the decline effect. He has named the tool the Genius Song. It is a 7-minute audio. You listen through headphones. It uses a technology called brain entrainment, where slightly different frequencies delivered into each ear guide the brain into a particular state. The state it guides the brain into is the same state your brain was in when you were a child. Gamma frequency. The frequency of curiosity, openness, intuitive flow, and the unforced learning that comes naturally to a child mind. Dr. Lake has spent 34 years studying this at MIT, at Princeton, at Harvard, and at several other leading research institutions. What the Genius Song does is not promise that you become a genius overnight. What the Genius Song does is reverse the decline effect. It wakes the child within. The curiosity returns. The openness returns. The unforced quality of receiving returns. The first wave of restoration. When your decision about this settles in your spirit, there is one more thing you may encounter on this path. Some chosen ones who walk this restoration further encounter a deeper amplification of what Dr. Lake released. It is called the youthful brain. It extends the restoration into a stronger, more sustained activation of the same state, and many chosen ones who go further with this work tend to walk toward it. You will see it after you secure the original. If your spirit confirms it, take it. If it does not speak to you, the original alone is complete. The Genius Song was studied across more than 3 decades of research, beginning in Dr. Lake's earliest work at MIT and continuing through the labs at Princeton and several other research institutions that contributed to mapping the decline effect. The data is consistent. Gamma reactivation is measurable. The reversal of the decline effect is replicable. This is not a metaphor. This is documented. And the child mind, once awoken, discovers something that was not visible while she was still asleep. She discovers that even with her curiosity restored, even with her openness restored, even with the unforced quality of her receiving restored, she still cannot easily reach for what was promised to her. The door is open inside her mind. The hands cannot quite move yet. There is still something between the child awake within her and the kingdom that was meant to flow to her. There is another frequency running underneath the first one that has been quietly closing the channel of reception. While the child mind was being dimmed, a second thing was happening at the same time. The brain was being trained into a state of constant, low-level survival scanning, the state I named earlier. Beta hyperactivity, the state your nervous system has been holding for so long that you no longer recognize it as a state, it just feels like life. A second researcher, working in a completely different research lineage from Dr. Lake, has mapped this second signal. His name is Dr. Stephen Newton. He is a former Stanford neuroscientist. He broke from mainstream research to release his work openly. His research lineage runs through Boston University, through Stanford, through Harvard, and through several other research institutions. He calls the second tool the wealth signal. It is a 5-minute audio paired with what he calls the 9-word wealth script, a phrase rooted in a Hindu meditation technique that is over 3,000 years old. The audio calibrates brain frequency from beta back toward alpha. Alpha is the state of receptivity. Alpha is the drawbridge between the conscious and the subconscious. Alpha is the frequency at which what was promised actually becomes receivable. What the wealth signal does is deactivate the stress signal. It opens the manifestation channel that the survival adaptation had been keeping closed. After the child mind is awake, the reception channel opens, and what was always meant to flow toward you can begin to flow. After you secure the wealth signal, you may encounter a deeper version of the same tool. It is called the Wealth Signal Accelerator. It amplifies the opening of the reception channel for those whose path requires going further than most. Many chosen ones, already on this path, are walking toward it. You will see it after you secure the original. If your spirit confirms, take it. If it does not, the original alone is complete. And one last note about both of these. Some of the chosen ones who walk this restoration furthest end up combining the deeper version of each tool. The Wealth Signal Accelerator, together with the youthful brain. The amplification of the reception channel, paired with the deeper sustaining of the child mind. You will encounter both options after you secure the originals. The originals alone are complete. The combination is reserved for those whose path requires going deeper than most. Your spirit will know. Dr. Newton's research lineage at Stanford and at Boston University has mapped the deactivation of the stress signal with the same rigor that Dr. Lake brought to the decline effect at MIT and at Princeton. Two separate research traditions in two different decades, arriving at convergent conclusions about a dual signal problem in the modern nervous system. There was a woman I will tell you about, because her story belongs in this part of the conversation. She was 52, the owner of a small business in Florida, and she was also taking care of her elderly mother. She described waking up every morning with a tightness in her chest, a knot of money worry that arrived before her eyes had even opened. She had been meditating for 6 months. The meditation was not reaching the layer where the knot lived. She used the wealth signal for 3 weeks. The morning tightness diminished noticeably. A decision she had been postponing for 8 months, raising her prices for her clients, came to her on a quiet morning without any drama. She raised her prices. The clients accepted without objection. Her cash flow rose by 22% that month. She said it was not that she had become more confident. She said it was that the panic underneath had quieted enough for her to do what she had already known to do. That is what the reception layer does. It does not give you something new. It removes the static that was blocking what was already on its way. I know some of you are sitting with the same set of doubts that almost every chosen one sits with when this part of a message arrives. So let me speak to them, not as objections, but as honest questions you deserve honest answers to. The first is, I have tried so many things. What makes this different? What you have tried has likely worked on a different layer than this. Meditation, prayer, manifestation, work, affirmation practice. These all require the internal state to change first, before the external can shift. The two tools I have named work the other direction. They calibrate the frequency directly, through brain entrainment in one case, and through brain frequency calibration paired with an ancient script in the other. The change does not have to be willed into being. The change is what makes willing possible again. The second is, this sounds too good to be true. I understand. Anything that promises a shift this significant should be approached with the kind of caution we talked about at the beginning of this message. The holy kind. The kind that protects you. What I will tell you is that both of these tools are measurable. Brain frequency shifts can be observed on an EEG. The research is replicable. This is not a promise. This is documented science delivered in a form that is accessible to someone outside of a research lab. The third is, this still costs something. It does. And I would not insult you by pretending it does not. Both tools are priced at $39 each. Significantly less than a single biofeedback session, less than a weekend retreat, less than most spiritual courses, far less than the long way around that we talked about earlier, and both come with a 90-day money-back guarantee. If your spirit recognizes within those 90 days that this is not for you, you receive your investment back, and you keep the bonuses. The fourth question is the one you have been holding for a while now. Why both of them? Why not just one? Because the sequence is not optional. The child mind has to wake first, or the reception channel has nothing to receive into. The reception channel has to open second, or the awake child cannot reach what was promised to her. One wakes, the other opens, and the kingdom flows through the open door into the awake one, the way it was always meant to. So there are 3 paths in front of you tonight. The first path is restoration. The genius song, Alone. For the chosen one who feels the child within, most deeply asleep. For the one who needs to wake her before anything else can be done. The first wave of restoration. the honored entry point. The second path is reception, the wealth signal alone. The rarer path, for the chosen one who feels that the child within is already awake and whose work is to open what was being kept closed. For the few whose path looks like this specifically. The third path is complete restoration. Both tools together. The full sequence. And the child wakes. And then the reception opens. This is the path that most of the chosen ones who arrive at this conversation recognize as their path, not because it is more impressive, because the sequence is sequence-dependent. The body needs the first to receive the second. The pattern is the pattern Jesus pointed toward a long time ago when he said, "Become like little children, and the kingdom is yours." The biblical pattern is the pattern of the body. There is no buy more, save more pressure here. There is no fake bundle discount. Each tool is exactly what it is, at exactly the price each one was set at. The third path is simply both of them together, in the order the body needs them. Every Chronos day you wait is a Kairos hour you cannot reclaim. The skip pattern continues to run, in the background, on the same signal that has been running it. The longer it runs, the deeper the groove. The body becomes more accustomed to scanning and less accustomed to receiving. The longer you wait to interrupt the signal, the longer the pattern has to settle further into the architecture of your nervous system. There is no urgency I want to manufacture for you. There is only the truth that what is not interrupted continues. One last thing I have to say openly before I take you into the closing. There are imitations beginning to appear, recordings with similar names, audio tracks promising the same activation. They are not what Dr. Lake released. They are not what Dr. Newton mapped. The only place these tools have been verified to come from the original research lineage is the path in the description and in the pinned comment below this conversation. Anywhere else, you cannot be sure what you are listening to. And what you listen to matters. The brain does not get to choose what it entrains to once the audio begins. Protect what enters your ears. So let me give you the moment. Breathe once. Place a hand somewhere on your chest, gently, where the heart can feel it. This is not a pricing decision. This is a path decision. Which one is yours? All three are honored. Your spirit knows which one is yours. The 3 doors are in the description below this conversation. The 3 doors are also in the pinned comment. The path you walk through is the path that has been holding your name. Now, the words begin to quiet. What was said has been said. What remains is breath and presence, and the quiet agreement between you and what you have always been. We release the skip pattern. We release the counterfeit caution that has been wearing the clothes of wisdom. We release the deferred permission that was issued to us decades ago. We release the avoided cost that has been quietly compounding. We release the Chronos clock that has been measuring the wrong hours. We release the version of us who has always said later. I hear the Father saying something, and I am going to say it the way I hear it. You are not the one who skipped. You are the one who finally stayed. The chosen one who recognizes the door before it closes. The chosen one who grants permission without waiting for the perfected version to arrive. The chosen one who steps within the 90-second window, even when the step is small. The chosen one whose past skips do not define this moment, or the next, or the next. This is who you have always been. What has been recognized cannot be unrecognized. What has been received cannot be unreceived. What has been sealed cannot be unsealed. Do not say Amen yet. Let what was placed land first. Now, only when your spirit confirms it, let the seal close. So it is, and so you are. If, during the silence you heard, which door is yours, the path is in the description below. The path is also in the pinned comment. 3 doors: restoration, reception, complete, restoration. The one your spirit recognized is the one that has been waiting for you. If you did not hear yet, return to this conversation when the hour for you is here. The door is still open. Chosen one, the one who finally stayed.